and happy Sunday. I had an amazing Bible study this morning and I never ate breakfast beforehand, so I am cooking some brunch. Today I've decided to make keto Belgian waffles with some Saskatoons I found in my deep freeze yesterday. And yeah, we're gonna make some homemade whipped cream, so there we go. I think our very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna mix up our keto batter, and then I'll start my Belgian waffle maker up. We'll heat it up, and while we're doing that, we are going to make ourselves a little whipped cream, because hey, what's a Belgian waffle without some whipped cream? So to start this off, super easy, we are going to add 4 eggs. And yes, it seems like kind of a lot of batter, but what I like to do with my batter is when I do make waffles is I like to cook up a few extra, and then I just put them in the freezer. And then that way on days when it's a little bit busier or whatever, you can just grab them, throw them in a microwave, in a toaster oven, even in your regular toaster, if you have a nice thick slice one like I do. So we're just putting in 4 whole eggs. There's the big controversy out there. I've been helping in the co-op grocery store lately, and different times people will phone and they'll say, I would like a dozen eggs. Make sure they're white or make sure they're brown. And I ask them why, and nobody can really tell me why. It's just a preference. Do you guys prefer a certain egg, white or brown? I personally love brown eggs, but I have a reason for it. What I find is I love farm eggs. They're my favorite because the yolks get nice and dark in the summertime when they're running around and eating grain and stuff like that. And to me, I don't know if it's just in my head, but I grew up with farm eggs and the colored shells. To me, they just taste better, but I don't know if that is true either or not. Okay, so we got our 4 eggs. I'm gonna add 3/4 of a cup of almond milk in here. I'm just gonna set this aside. And then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add about 1/4 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil. If you do have like a 1/4 of a cup, there we go. If you do have an avocado oil, you can use that in here too. There we go, 1/4 cup of that. Yeah, so let me know in the comments. I would love to know if you prefer brown eggs or white eggs, or if it actually matters to you. What else are we gonna put? We're gonna put in here, I wanna do my baking powder. We're gonna do 2 teaspoons of baking powder. As far as baking powder, what is your preference or whatever? To me, I don't really have a preference. This is the one that my mom used, so this is the one I use. I can't tell if there is any other ones that are better or not. So we got 2 teaspoons of magic baking powder. I love the thing that is magic. What else we're gonna put? We're gonna put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla into our batter. It just kind of gives it a nice little flavor. And this is vanilla from Mexico. When John and I went to Mexico, our very first time we went, and I brought back a whole lot of vanilla. My mom, growing up, she had this big gallon jug of vanilla that I think one of her sisters went to Mexico and brought back. And ever since I'm used to that, now you're going to use like the extract. No, not so good. I think what I'm going to do though is I actually brought some vanilla beans back too. So when this is all done, I can make my own vanilla. I'm going to try that. Okay, we're going to need 1/4 cup of some kind of sweetener. Now, I don't use sugar, but what I did is I get this from the bulk barn, and it is like a blend of xylitol and stevia. You have to be careful if you do have pets. Xylitol is dangerous for pets, so you don't have to use this kind of sugar. I don't give my dogs that kind of table scraps. Anyways, they will get like a little bit of steak or hamburger or something like that. Okay, now we're gonna give a touch of salt. Why a touch of salt in here? Anytime you're using a sweetener, like stevia or xylitol or whatever, it does tend to have a little tiny bit of a bitter aftertaste if you're not used to it. So that little bit of salt will actually cut that down. Now, I was just talking to a lovely lady on Messenger last night, and we were talking about, and I'm gonna add some almond flour here in just a sec. We were talking about stevia, and she says artificial sweeteners give her a headache. So I told her, like, stevia, and that is not an artificial flavor. It's actually plant-based. I don't know if it will give her a headache or not. That's something she's gonna have to test. But it's not like that pink poison or that yellow poison that you buy that's all chemical. It is actually good for you, and it doesn't spike your insulin. Okay, now that we mix this up just a little bit, I'm going to add in 2.5 cups of almond flour. Now, if this gets a little too thick for us, we can always thin it out a little bit with a little bit more of our almond milk. I make my batter in a pour bowl, even though I just got to check and see if I brought my little measuring cup somewhere. I have a little measuring cup I got to make my waffles with. I'll find out in just a sec. I always, and that's just something that my mom did, I don't know if you have to or what, when we were making waffles or pancakes or whatever, we'd always mix it up first and then let the bowl sit just for a sec. I just want to see, what did I do with that little measuring cup? That doesn't sound very good, does it? Oh, there we go. I have to have a special measuring cup for my waffle maker, so I want to make sure that it measures it out right. Okay, and then what I'm going to add, you don't have to add anything if you don't want, but I am going to add a cup of Saskatoons. I was cleaning out my freezer and I come across a huge bag of Saskatoons left over from last year. So what I did is I'm going to put a cup in here, but I also took another cup, and on my stove back there, I have it cooked down with just a little tiny bit of sweetener. And it brought out all that, the juices and stuff. Then I added just a tiny bit of, I was going to say it's Exitol, no it's not, xanthium gum. A tiny bit of xanthium gum, because it works better for you than cornstarch for your body, and it just thickens that up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to just set this aside, and while we're making our whipped cream, I'm just going to plug in my waffle maker here. Sure the thing is on. Yep. Turn it up just a little bit for a little darker waffle. Okay, so while that's heating up, we're going to set this aside, and we are going to make some whipped cream, because hey, what's a Belgian waffle without some whipped cream? So I'm going to make it in my Ninja. You guys who've been following me on my recipes know I use my Ninja a lot. That is one appliance, tool, whatever you want to call it. If that thing crashes, I have to buy another one. I cannot live without it. I literally use it every single day, from smoothies to whipped creams to pureeing stuff for soup, whatever. I do have the big blender thing, but today this will be fine. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add, or put in here, sorry, a cup of whipped cream. There's nothing better than your own whipped cream. I actually have a little thingamajig that John bought me. It has an aerosol container or whatever in there, and you can actually make it, and it poofs up the whipped cream, which is really, really cool. I'll have to dig that out sometime and show you guys how that works, but for today, I'm just going to do it this way. Okay, then we need some vanilla in here. Do I have my measuring cup somewhere? Yes. Okay, so I need 2 teaspoons of vanilla again. And you can do whatever you want in here too. If you want to add a little bit of cocoa and have chocolate whipped cream, you can do that, whatever you want. Then we're going to add about 1/4 of a cup of sweetener, maybe a little bit less than that, into here. There you go. And that's all it takes to make your homemade whipped cream. Like super, super cool. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to blend this up really quick right here. I can see just check this out. See how it's whipping. I'll use a tiny bit more. And we'll check this out. I think she's done. We'll just open it up and see. Yeah. There you go. Nice thick whipped cream, like super, super easy. Oh, and we've got the go ahead for our first waffle. So we're going to bring this over here. Stir this up just a little bit. Like I said, if it gets a little too thick, I might add just a little bit more. Little messy bugger. Okay, and then we're going to pour this in, and then we're going to hope for the best. And I think it might be just a tad thick for this type of machine. Oh, she's going down. As I said, I'll just kind of push her down a little bit. Kind of help it down its way. We'll see what happens here. I think I am going to thin it out just a little bit. I guess it just depends on your waffle maker. Mine is one of these ones that go in from the top. So, we'll set that there. I'm going to grab a little bit more of my almond milk and just thin it out just a little bit more, just because of it's a little thick for this waffle maker, I think. So it didn't go down all the way. I think I might have a little bit of gooiness on the top, but that's okay. My regular waffle maker, that would have been enough liquid. This one we're going to have to thin it out a little bit, I think. Move that out of the way. I'm going to find us a little dish. Put our waffle on. Now you definitely have some batter that's not going anywhere here. I'm just going to pick it out because it's a little too thick on top. There we go. Okay, we'll wait and see what happens. So what are you guys having for Sunday brunch? Or did you guys get up early and have breakfast already? John and I, lots of times, like if we're having waffles, Belgian waffles or whatever, he'll like fry up an egg alongside of his, and we always cook like some kind of meat, like a bacon or whatever. So I've got some bacon back there for myself. And yeah, I don't think I need to do the egg or whatever. There's a lot of eggs in here, but he just loves a gooey egg next to his waffle. So that is interesting. I'll move this over to the side. Maybe while we're waiting, I can grab this. Grab this little spoon. We'll put some of our yummy whipped cream out in here. And definitely, if you want, I think our waffle's ready. Okay. That's so yummy. All right. Let's see how this thing works. Well, it's got a little bit sticky here because of my batter was too thick. But we're just going to take this off. Of course, I needed something a little bit smarter to take it off with. I think my next one, I'm going to crisp it up just a little bit more. I think this is a nice waffle. But I like mine a little on the crispier side, but there you go. Now, of course, we don't have the full beautiful waffle because my batter was a little thick, but that's okay. We're going to set this back in here. And our next one will be a little better because I thinned out the batter a little bit. And again, it all depends on whether you have an upright, I do have a regular one. I should have pulled it out. I want to see how this one actually worked. So we got this for Christmas for John. Oh yeah, now that's going down there way better. So add a little tiny bit more since there's a big chunk in there. Oops, she's coming up to the top. Tammy, quit pouring stuff in there. Excellent. I'm just going to turn up the dial a little bit more because I want that one nice and crispy. But anyways, there you go. This one's still going to be yummy, yummy, yummy. I'm going to put a little bit of my whipped cream on there. I'm going to take a little bit of my Saskatoon mixture. I also have a really, really good keto syrup in the fridge. We might put a little bit of that on there. So this is a raspberry natural flavored syrup. Put a little bit of that in there. And I'll throw a piece of bacon on there, and there you go. There is breakfast. Brunch. Anyways, have a great day, you guys. It smells delicious. I can't wait to try it. Remember, be kind out there.